bigeze kumamagara gusengera umuntu ufite abadayimoni. Urabona abadayimoni hakaba n'abadayimoni.
There are demons and there are demons.
Umukobwa yari afite abadayimoni.
This woman had
many
demons.
years ago, pastor. Sanga baramuziritse muri salon, ndibuka salon yabukuntu yari imeze, bazirikira ku kuguru ko yararwanaga, yacaga ibintu, yarameze nabi.
She was bound in the living room because the demons were very bad.
Senga mpagaze.
Then I prayed while standing.
Senga nicaye.
I prayed while sitting.
Akajya ndeba de.
And then she could look at me and laugh.
Barahi wabo bareba ati yego pastor senga sho.
They were like, Pastor, pray.
Senga mvuma biranga.
I prayed while cursing, it didn't work.
Ninda ukubita biranga.
I rebuked, it did not work. I said, I'll beat you, it did not work.
Okay. Hari umushuti wanje.
There's a friend of mine.
Okay. Hari umushuti wanje.
There's a friend of mine.
Yarari mu masengero kandi ndamuzi.
I know him.
Amaze igihe kandi mbizi ko ari muri seke.
They spend time in just
dry.
Then I said, if you're God,
fasha yitabe.
Please let him pick this call.
Ndamubwira nti mbare gatatu ngezeho.
Then I said, let me count to 3 while you're here.
Nakoze gymnastique zose, nakoze sport, nakoze gym byanze.
Because I did all the gym and it didn't work.
Ahubwo akandeba.
And then she could look at me.
Sinzi ukuntu nagize gutya gato mbona arasimbukiye afata akaguru.
And then she jumped at me and held my leg.
Ni mana ntabara umuzimu.
And I was like, God rescue me, the ghost. They're taking my leg.
Sha. Pastor yarandiye. Ngiye gusengera umuntu ndimo ndasaba kugira ngo bagire gute? Bantabare nanjye.
For someone to be delivered and I'm praying for my rescue.
Kubona umushuti yonye mbona araje afata akamoto.
Then my friend took a bike and then he came.
Ubwo mama uwo yararaho nabandi baraho nyine bare ukuntu nita hejuru nitakamye naririmbye naba moto zanze. Nahamagaye umuriro, nahamagaye wa Eliya.
I called fire of Elijah, it did not work.
Niyo mpamvu nababwiye ngo uzajya umira ubwibone bwawe wemere kwiga.
Swallow your pride and learn how to learn.
Iyo ntemera ko hari uwonzi ufite ubwo buntu byari bigiye kunyobera.
If I did not accept there is someone with this grace, this child could not be healed.
Now arinjira. Urumva umuntu umaze iminsi irenga atarya yarafite imbaraga z'umubiri n'ubusanzwe afite ibiro 3. Numupapa unanutse.
He's very sleepy.
Amaze iminsi atagira gute?
He spent 3 days without
eating. Ambwira ati pastor.
He entered. He looked like drunkard. He said, Pastor, can you give me a chair?
Bamuhaye.
When they gave him a chair,
uyu nasengeraga. Tuvuge niba umuryango uraha murabona?
If the door is there,
ntabwo arimo arahareba.
She's not looking there. She's there shouting and I can see this.
So ufite abadayimoni ntabwo arimo aramureba.
So the person with demons is not looking at her. Who is that entering?
Nkaho wagira ngo jewe ntabwo ndi umuntu.
As if I'm not a human being.
Shawura seki kikoko.
Why are you laughing?
Pastor, yinjira afite agategeka cye taravuga ngo nimume agatebe.
He said with a weak voice, give me a chair. And then I said, give him something sugary because I knew he's about to do something. They brought juice. But when he was drinking juice,
Pastor, ntacyo yari bwavuge bishop.
He didn't say anything. He sat while drinking juice. May God forgive him. He is not looking at her. He's like, I'm burning. It is finished. It is done. This one entering. Where am I going? I'm going to get out of my house. Where am I going? He did not say any word. He is taking his juice. I don't even have saliva. I asked for another, then they did not give me.
Pastor,
slowly by slowly.
Pastor, and
then he took the glass. And then he gave the mother. And then he came.
Pastor, no you?
He said, Pastor, is it this one?
Okay, Pastor, you can sit down.
It's okay. Why
would I sit?
Why would I say to
waretse
him?
kugira ngo numwirukana bwe ko ari jewe.
I'll just say I'm the one that chased this demon.
Pastor ngiye kubona nta
Then I
mbaraga
saw
afite z'umubiri.
He doesn't have courage. He spent days praying.
Jewe nari nakoze icyo bita urukiramende.
I just jumped the rope.
Narasimbutse
I
ndamanuka.
jumped rope.
Daimon irande bati ha.
And then the demon looked at me and was like,
May God forgive you. Pastor aregera gahoro nkuko ndimo ndegera hano. Ahita arambwira ati devil.
And then he said, devil.
Yagize
He did like this. He did signs. He did signs.
Pastor ndakanura neza.
And then I looked at
Nigihe
this.
agira gutya kugira ngo nuzuze ikirere urusaku.
And then when he was doing this for me to shout,
Pastor uziko basakuza cyane buriya ntakabarga kabamo.
do you know that those who shout a lot, there is no power in that?
Eragure mana,
You are God.
Pastor iyi mbaraga zirimo ntago basakuza.
When there is power, they don't just shout.
Yagize ari.
He did this.
Ndavuga yes, yes.
Then I said, yes, yes.
Ai, Yesu we dutabare. Simba shaka kwibuka uriya munsi.
I don't want to remember that day.
Ubwo nyina hagaze hariya, sahagaze hariya.
The mother is there, the father is there. Then I said,
Sokeness.
all of you get out.
There nunanirwa, at least confuse people.
Even if you're worried, just confuse people.
None se nari ubigenze nte?
What would I
Namwe ni mumvugi.
do? Just tell me.
Pastor, I confused them until they get confused. Ndavuga ni yeah, umuriro w'Imana mama
And I said,
masoka
the
mama.
fire of the Lord, get out, mother.
Umukecuru arasoka.
The woman got out.
Pitambwira pastor ni irukana neza.
Then I said, Pastor, please chase
Nta
all the
kabaraga
demons
afite
away.
wegiraga atya agiye nsakuza.
I would shout and it was just
Yagira
doing
ati,
the sounds.
In
Just
the name of
get out.
Jesus. Mu izina rya Yesu.
In the name of Jesus.
Ndi kanaka. Hari bya babajije.
Did he ask anything? They were saying their names. They were
Nanjye ni
just
yego,
shouting.
nari navuze ngo soka.
I said, get out.
Ntabwo nshaka kuvuga kabiri,
I
navuze
don't want
ngo
to speak twice.
Beneda yari muri aya.
He was just doing signs.
Ahita aramwegera neza, afatisha urutoki gutya. Ashyiraho.
And then he pointed at her.
Finished.
It is finished. Birarangiye. She
Nza
fainted.
hejuru arambwira ati Julienne birarangiye.
And then
Yes.
he told me it is done.
Ndaza. Wagiye sha wagiye.
You're gone, I said.
Shambwira ukwegera ntugasakuze jya ubona Imana sha.
Tell your neighbor, do not shout, but seek God.
Beneda hari levels na levels.
There are levels
Ntabwo
and levels.
abadayimoni n'ibyadufashe mu buzima bitinyijwi.
The
Bitinya level ugehozeho.
The demons and those things that are holding us back do not fear the level. They're feeling the level that you're on.
Narebye umugabo w'ibiro bike.
I look at the man that is
Mama
sleeping.
itarinjira ni najya umwinjije. Nese mvuga ni abari hanze mwinjire.
And I say, those who are outside, come.
Umwana yabotse.
The child is delivered.
Baza barira.
They came back crying.
Yari afite impanga ye iziboroga.
She had a twin. The twin was
Urakoze
crying.
Mana nanjye ni yes.
Thank you,
Jesus
Lord.
is
I said,
alive.
yes, Jesus is alive.
Pastor uwabikoze ararimo avuga ati yes thank you Lord.
The one that has done it is saying, thank you, Lord.
Thank you Lord.
He is we. Rakoze.
Thank you Lord.
Rakoze man.
Thank you Holy Spirit.
Rakoze mukare.
Umva namubwira ni sakoza.
I was like, I was telling him, shout.
Ariko dukunda urusaku abarokoreye.
We like to shout a lot.
Mama warinjira baramuhobera arangije atarabyuka aravuga ngo yo kuki nziritse.
Why am I bound? She said,
Mama, I missed you.
Mama, I missed you. She
Batangira
said.
kuboroga.
And then they started
Umukozi
crying
w'Imana
out.
ati Pastor reka ngende subire gusenga.
And then the servant of God said, let me go back to pray.
Ndawe nusubiye he?
And I was like, where are you going back?
Ati wankuyeyo nubaha ubushuti, let me go back to.
I respected our
the face of
friendship.
God.
Let me go back.
Yewe uwo mugoroba nari mfite sorti n'abagore twitaga ngo n'abagore b'icyarya.
I had an outing
Twagomba
with
kujya kunywa
women.
ikawa.
We went to take coffee.
tujya kunywa ikawa dushyiraho amababa y'inkoko.
We went to take coffee and then chicken
Undi ari
wings.
hehe?
Right, another one.
Ngira ukwegereye urangana n'igiciro watanze.
Tell your neighbor that
usa n'igiciro watanze.
you look like the price
uvuga nkaho ugeze mu mwuka.
You speak as the level
ugenda
you're on
naho
in the
ugeze mu
spirit.
mwuka.
You walk as the level
ibikubaho
you're on
bifite
the spirit.
uburenganzira kubera level ugeze.